Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your ZF6 in warranty here, and I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. And in this video, we are going to be discussing the ship known as ZF6, a Tier 7 premium German destroyer. And I argue that it is one of the best German destroyers in the entire game. It is a powerhouse, and it can do everything fairly well. So in this video, it's kind of be a ship review. I'm not sure if the ship is in the store anymore, but if it ever does come into the store, I highly recommend you pick this ship up. And in this video, we're going to be discussing, what this ship can do very well. And you'll obviously be seeing that in the gameplay. So with that out of the way, let's get straight into this, guys. So let's start talking about the most important stats of this ship. First of all, starting with our upgrades. So first of all, we are going to be using the Aiming Systems Mod 1, Propulsion Mod 2, Concealment System Mod 1, and Gunfire Systems Mod 2. Gunfire Control, I should say. Gunfire Control Systems Mod 2. There we go. Now we got it right. The ship comes equipped with a smokescreen, engine boost that lasts for 120 seconds, and the quick reloading gun thing, I forgot what that thing is called. I think it's called, I don't know what it's called, but it lasts for 15 seconds, and my god, that's what makes this ship very, very powerful, and you're about to see a demonstration of that, why it is so powerful. Now, this ship with our specific build has 19,600 hit points, which is fairly good for a destroyer. We have 11.7 kilometer range on our guns, and a 4-second reload. So definitely very good. We have good hit points, good guns, they can fire fairly decently. So our max HE damage is 1,450, not 14,000, excuse me guys. And it has a 6% chance of catching fire on enemy ships. Now our max AP damage is almost 3,000, so definitely going to be doing very good. Now here in a second, you are going to be seeing why our guns are so powerful, especially when we use a reload booster. Now, technically, this Fletcher should be demolishing us, but watch what happens. And look, we're not using HE, we are using AP. And I recommend you use AP against destroyers because it has such good damage. Like I said, 3,000 damage almost per shell hit. And we take him down in almost, it looked like, 6 seconds. That is incredibly fast for a destroyer to be killing another destroyer. Incredibly fast. So as you can see, the gun reload booster, and the fact that we have fairly decent guns that do relatively high damage against destroyers, it makes this ship a very, very deadly option for fighting other destroyers. Now, talking about more stats, we have 8 torpedoes, and the maximum torpedo damage is almost 20,000 damage, so definitely very, very good, with a 90-second reload on those torpedoes. Now these torpedoes also have an 8-kilometer torpedo range, which I would say is pretty good. It could be a little bit longer, but I'll accept that. And it has a 80-knot top speed, well 79, but we can make it 89. Not 89, 80, excuse me. I don't know why I keep messing up. Now when it comes to the speed department of this ship, we are basically going at 38 knots, which I would say is relatively decent. It could of course be faster, but it is pretty good. Now when it comes to our detection range, we have a 5.5 detection range, which I would say is really, really good. Obviously we could have it down lower like the Japanese ships, like where they have it down to 4 kilometers. Ridiculous stuff like that, but we are not built for that. That is not the goal of this destroyer. And when someone's spotting us from air, it is 3.1 kilometers. But if we are firing our guns, it is going to be 5.6 kilometers by air. And those are all the most important stats. Now let's start talking about this gameplay that you are watching and break down what exactly is going on. So you might be curious as to why we just launched our torpedoes. And what I thought was going to happen, I thought he was going to run aground. I didn't realize he had more clearance to speed up that Kerfurks. That's why I fired the torpedoes. I thought he'd run aground and we'd be able to torp him, but evidently he did not run aground, as you can see. Now we're just going to sit in our smokescreen and start firing at all these battleships, trying to set as many fires as quickly as we possibly can. Because there's a lot of ships over here that we can get lots of damage potentially on. Now in that opening part of this video, when we destroyed that destroyer, that was ridiculous. We almost had 14,000 damage. And I would say, hey, 6 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. I didn't count exactly how long it was. I'm just assuming that's how long it took. But as you can see, that was extremely fast to be killing a destroyer. And that's why this is one of my favorite destroyers. It has very good torpedoes, very good guns, and we are now up to 32,000 damage only using our guns. We have not fired our torpedo. Oh, I did fire torpedoes, but they never hit anything, so that doesn't really count. But we are just racking up this damage, continuously shooting at these battleships, trying to set as many fires as we possibly can, which is pretty... This ship is pretty good at doing stuff like that. It might only have a 6% fire chance, but when you're firing that many shells that quickly, you can start setting some fires if you, of course, have the chance to. Now, this ship can do some open water gunboating, but we are not really going to want to do that because there is a Kerfuffle, so we do not want to be hit by its secondaries. Now here we are using some pretty poor map judgment. On our right side there are a lot of ships that I'm not really paying attention to. Well, I am somewhat paying attention to them. But as you can see, we're going to make some mistakes here, and that's going to end up to our demise. But we are, of course, going to get a lot more damage in that amount of time, as you're going to about to see. Why did I just say it like that, as you are going to about to see? Okay, I'm not even going to worry about what I just said, because that didn't sound right, but, you know, hopefully you guys laughed a little bit at that. But we're going to start firing at this Yamato, because we want to see if we can set at least one fire to him. And we do, so Fish is very happy with that one. Now our goal is to see if we can torp any of these battleships. We have a Yamato coming straight at us, and a Kerfuffle giving almost a flat broadside, so we definitely... If he keeps sailing in a straight line like that, we have a high probability of at least getting one torpedo hit on him. Now, this is where I make my huge mistake. There is a Georgia coming right towards us right now, and as you can see, he is right there. And there is also a Yamato right over here, too. So we're going to get ourselves into a pretty big pickle right here about what we are going to do. We have an entire minute to wait until we have more torpedoes ready to fire, so we're going to have to play this extremely carefully if we want to survive for at least a little bit longer and get even more potential damage. Now we are up to 80,000 damage. We've only had one torp hit in this entire match, so we've definitely done a ton of damage just with our guns. I'd say maybe 60,000. I'm not exactly sure how much damage, I wasn't paying too much attention, but I'm assuming 60,000 damage that we had with our main guns. And I'm going to say that is very, very, very good for a destroyer. If you're getting 60,000 damage just with your main guns alone in a game with a ZF6, that is extremely good just for using your guns and not really using your torps yet. Even though we have used our torps, we're up to 80,000. But if you get 60,000, like I just said, with just using your guns, I would say that's a pretty successful game. And that's not including the torpedo damage that you're also going to be getting. Now here we are going to be getting ourselves even into a larger pickle, because we are firing at this Yamato. Luckily, he is downed by our teammate. And at this point, we know we are dead, because there's a Georgia waiting right here for us. So we're going to have to fire our torps very, very quickly, because he takes a shot and we know more shells are going to be coming in. So we take the shot very, very quickly, because we know we are dead right here, and then we die. But let's see what our torpedoes can do. He is a full health battleship, so of course, if we are able to hit these torpedoes, well, we do end up hitting him. So that is a ton of damage, 131,000 damage in this game. One death strike, first blood medal. So I'd say that's a very, very successful game for the ZF6. Now, I recommend getting this ship if you ever do see it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and peace out, guys.